Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this Wednesday morning. We've got a big show lined up, a special guest here in Studio B. So let's get started with our weather. This is going to be a nice day. High of 81, low of 64. But guess where the water temperature is in this lag we've had? I finally found the water temperature. How about 76.5? I had a friend of mine out in the bay, and he texted me the water temperature out there yesterday was 77, so we're pretty close on the buoy and the bay water temperature. So a lot of good things are happening as far as fish moving in the water temperature. River readings. We're looking at Apalachicola, Blountstown. It's still high, 14.4 this morning, and the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is 7.1. Both rivers not showing a lot of movement either up or down for the next day or two. And we'll see what kind of rain we'll get, but it looks pretty steady on the river system. Apalachicola River not going down as fast as we had anticipated. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn right here on 23rd Street, or right over there on 23rd Street. And it looks like it's going to be neap tides again. Neap tides today, the next 3 days. Saturday, we're going to have some pretty good tides, but the next 3 days will be some neap tides, and the wind direction coming, been pretty windy like yesterday, and it's going to be coming out of south-southeast at about 7 to 11. All right, let's take our break. We'll come back with our guest. Welcome back, and look who wandered in this morning early, all the way up here to Studio B. Bill, how do you like Studio B?
I love it. I love it. I'm extremely uncomfortable sitting here by this. It's well known that I don't like them in any way, shape, or form. However, that one is dead, so I'm still looking over my shoulder.
And we do have some snake stories to tell you, and this time of year, it's a little creepy out there in the woods.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's one of the reasons that I don't turkey hunt anymore. I did when I was young. I think my last trip, and I sat down, of course it was warm, and I sat down about from me to Jeff was one of the biggest snakes that I'd seen looking straight at me, that I immediately dispatched and went to the truck and changed my pants and went home.
That's happened a lot. I'm going to show you two pictures in a minute of the same kind of situation happening last day or two. But anyway, we had to move up here. We're sort of in a garage apartment across the road from our house, so we hadn't traveled far. We got some social. This is outdoor social distancing, okay? So this is what we're doing, and we're in different times, challenging times, and I guess we haven't been in these uncharted waters, but we're going to be okay.
We are. Americans respond exceptionally well to issues, and we always have. And this is different, and a lot of people, nobody's ever dealt with this before, but the restaurants, the local places are doing, outstanding jobs. A lot of places have curb service, there's apps that you can call to order your food on, pick it up without ever going in. And one thing, like I talked to a lot of my clients and us, we're cooking a lot more.
Yeah.
On Sundays we have all the family, the grandkids over, and we're cooking out and doing those kind of things, and kind of like what we did when I grew up. We did that every Sunday afternoon. But so there's a lot of good things going on. But this is contagious, and it can be controlled, and you just have to be smart about it. And
that's right too. And I said when you say cooking out, two things you mentioned. One thing is going out and picking up food, especially if our sponsors. I went by yesterday. We got a chicken box to go from Sunday's Barbecue.
Sure.
And we're going to go buy Simply Seafood and get some shrimp. And speaking of cooking seafood, Tarpon Dock, I want to throw a pitch in. I talked to Clay the other night. I saw him at a function, and we were talking about the situation. And they've got some really good fresh seafood down there. They're still fishing and all. So this is a great time. In fact, I've known some people just go down there and get some seafood and bring it home and cook it. And that's what I plan on doing.
Absolutely, it's a great time. They always have really nice shrimp down there, and so you do a low country boil with shrimp and those kind of things. I mean, there's a lot you can do. I mean, we've always adapted to whatever situation we've been put in, and we'll overcome this.
Yeah, and it's changes daily. That's why we try to give you updates and all. And we're going to lean toward the outdoor news. And one of the things, some boat ramps are closing. We know that all the state parks have closed. At one time, they were going to stay open for the boat ramp, but now they've closed entirely. And some county boat ramps, I've heard of people being run off the beaches, just going out to fish. And as far as I know, all the surf fishing is closed. And I don't know about. I know there's some ramps still open, so we'll just try to keep you posted on it. But try to stay in tune. I see nothing wrong going to a I'm very careful, but if you want to go put your boat in at, say, the Lynn Haven boat ramp and go in the middle of North Bay and not around anybody, I don't see anything wrong with that right now.
No, absolutely not. That's, right now the best social distance in the world is somebody fishing from the front of the boat and somebody fishing from the back. If you're not working, what else you need to be fishing?
Yeah. I got tickled. You brought some stuff in, talking about old times and all. You brought some stuff in this morning. You cleaned out your dad's stuff, or what was that?
Yeah, we're in the process of, our house is finally about to be ready, which we're about to sell. We bought another house, and so we're going through a lot of stuff. And it was funny, I saw one of what's probably your dad's old cigar boxes up there, and that's where my dad kept a lot of stuff in these old Habitampa cigar boxes that I found.
We went through, I've been a collector, and at one time I was collecting cigar boxes, and they were the Habitampa and Tampa Nugget, and White Owl, and I think most of them about gone now. But in the towns in Gadsden County, they actually, because we grew the tobacco, they had a little satellite industry called, it was the box plant, and they made cigar boxes.
Oh,
and
sure.
I remember as a kid going to those machines, flapping them over. They actually made the cigar boxes there, and they put the cigars in them, so it was really cool to see all that. So. And I think every man of that generation has some cigar boxes.
No, I think so.
Even the ones that didn't smoke had cigar boxes that put some stuff in, some quarters and some.
I should have picked the box up, but it was this Habitampa box, and when it opened up on the inside, I think it said 3 for 15 cents or 2 for 15 cents. So
yeah.
It's a lot less expensive than the cigars that I smoke now. But Dad kept everything in cigar boxes like that. And I found some old stuff that was pretty cool.
We used to go to the yard sales a long time ago. Well, one of the first things I looked for was cigar boxes, because I looked to see what was in them. There's all kinds of stuff. Let's take a quick break. Come right back. Okay, we're sitting here talking about all kinds of things. While we're on the cigar boxes and all, let's finish on that. Tell us, this is cool. This show.
It really is, and because of our current situation, Jeff will probably take pictures of these, to be able to show later. But this was put out by the Division of Saltwater Fisheries. Randolph Hodges, who was the director, but this is September of 1967. And what it has is seasons and minimum legal lengths. Some of it's changed. Flounder's 11 inches, trout's 12 inches, redfish is 12 inches, pompano's 10. But the way this reads, there are like for redfish and for trout, there are no limits. And there's a note here on spotted sea trout and weakfish, Bay County only, is 35 per day.
Oh man, 35.
Which is slightly higher than the current regulations. But, when I found this, I thought, man, this is really interesting, and it just goes back, and it talks about some things here with basic sense too, as a return undersized fish, obviously, but these are conservation
number
rules.
3 we're talking about.
Take only those fish home which you intend to use, and return others to the water. So, still. That
was a code of ethics that generation had. They just took home what they're going to use, and will give it to their neighbor, and that's it.
Yeah, and so obviously there was an abundance of fish then. And, that's partly the reason we have to have the limits we have now.
I do want to say this about our generation. There were some outlaws. There's outlaws in every generation.
Yeah,
absolutely. They had some too, and who wasn't going to obey the rule no matter what. And that's why you have the laws and all. But
and then, of course, the one glaring thing in the middle is no license required for saltwater fishing. Which tells you that this is during the time that Dempsey Barron was still alive. Because he, under no circumstances, was going to have saltwater And when he passed away, he was no longer in the Senate. Immediately after, the saltwater fishing license. But he kept that off for many, many years. And also in here, I found a couple of old photographs. One of them's a Polaroid, you know, with me, believe it or not. And again, Jeff will show these. But that's a big king that I shot.
You were a little skinnier back then, Bill.
Yeah, I was a little bit better shape back then. And most likely I was with, you know, Jim Lewis or Robert Gustafson that I dove with all the time back then. But that's a pretty nice king. I'd take that about anywhere. And then here also is some trout. These are some 3 big trout that I caught one day. And I'm probably in high school at this point. And then,
that one, you're in your catcher stance. You're in your stance like you catcher.
You could tell because I could still get up from there.
Fastball or curveball?
Yeah, I could still get up from there. And then this is actually another trip with a buddy of mine, Robbie Willis, who this was again probably in high school with a big catch of trout that we had. So, and I can tell you where those were caught at. They were caught outside of the steam plant, and we didn't have much in the way of smaller boat. We had basically a John boat where we would put it in where you could drive to, and then paddle out to where it opened up, and that's where we fished. And then we'd have to paddle back. So, you know, it was in high school we were able to do that. But yeah, I just happened to come across those. Cool. There's several other things in there.
You looking at those, and you talked about Dempsey Bear and how strong he was in the Florida Senate, and he brought up a very valid point about how local lawmakers took care of their folks back in those days.
Oh, absolutely.
And here's a case in point today. We talk about all these public boat ramps that were built with outdoorsman money, and now the counties all around us are starting to charge $10, like Gulf County does, and all the other counties, $10 to launch it. But so far in Bay County, no one's charged. And Bill Dozier, as said here on the show, made that promise. As long as he's a county commissioner, we're not, you know, he feels like very strong about how we feel about it.
Yeah, Greg feels the same way.
And the city, Greg feels the same way.
So, you know, I don't want to get started, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. You know, we go over to other counties, you buy gas there, you buy ice there, you buy supplies there, you know, so you're feeding that economy by going and fishing, and then they want to nickel and dime you by charging you at the boat ramp.
And they're charging the outdoorsmen who helped build the ramps and all.
Right, you're double dipping on that.
It's not right, and we've talked about it over and over again, and I appreciate the elected officials that back us up as far as outdoorsmen, and it's the right thing to do.
You know, it's, you know, like I've said, now I'll buy everything I need, I'll load up before I get to that county.
And people are doing that, and it's a shame. It's all about money instead of trying to do the right thing. Listen, talking about, I got a couple of pictures here. We're going to jump up from your old pictures of what happened just the other day.
Yeah. And this subject, I'm gonna jump up and leave pretty soon.
Listen, this right before the state park closed, they were letting people come in there and fish off the jetties. All right, and Carlos Salomon sent this in the Panhandle Fishing. He spotted this rattlesnake at St. Andrews State Park. Now he said it's 6 to 8 foot long. You know, they grow when you look at them. And anyway, here's a better picture of it right here.
This is 12 feet long to me.
I think it might be, but
that's on the rocks.
That's on the rocks at the state park. So when the park does open back up, be aware that there are snakes out there. And I mean, this is not an everyday occurrence, but they'll swim across that water in a heartbeat.
It only takes once, yeah.
And they got us all, but he did get to fish some, and you know, that's beautiful out there in that situation there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and we were talking also. I've got all kind of pictures to show. Let's go ahead and take our break now, and we'll come back and look at some of these pictures. Welcome back. So here with my good buddy Bill Allen, and we're going to get out pretty soon, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
Pretty soon. Let's take a look at Blue Water Outriggers fishing game time for today. 1:32 to 3:32 this morning. We missed that one. And this afternoon, 1:52 to 3:52. We got all kind of cool things going on. I want to show you 4 or 5 pictures. Tomorrow I'll show you the rest of them real quick. Jose Ponce That is what do you think, Bill? That's a big one, ain't it?
That's a big old wire-haired.
That's a hairy one. And then we got some Michelle Kendrick Major, her son Brandon. He's just a really good hunter. And his granddaddy Bobby Kendrick taught him how to hunt. And he still does it. That's a nice gobbler. And also Ashton Brooks up in Youngstown. And her husband Keelan brought him in. And Ashton's one of our former students of the month. A big old smile on that face.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. And we did have a little bit of red tide spotted. I just want to show you, copy them out. With a little bit of red tide of all places, St. Joe Bay right now. It's very low, but it is there, and we're not happy about that. One more. Emily McCormick sent this in, or dad, Mickey McCormick.
Yeah.
He on up there, had the video with Mickey. We're going to show some tomorrow, but Mickey is a good turkey hunter. All right. Now, I'm going to show you. We just had a birthday yesterday, and I got all kind of presents. Had a wonderful.
Had a birthday yesterday.
Oh, you didn't have one?
No.
I thought everybody had one yesterday. So I had my chocolate cake, and then the family was there, and it was sort of low key when not a lot of people around. We wanted to keep social distancing, I guess. But anyway, I get all kind of presents and all, but I need absolutely nothing. But Gail bought me something. I don't know how this is going to show up, Jeff. This is a rod tip. I'm going to just pass it on to you, okay? This is a rod. Keep on pulling it. That's a rod tip right there.
It's not a brim buster.
It's not a brim buster, okay? Now, here's the other, okay? Now, that's the end of it. This is an ugly stick. They named this after some of the fishermen I know. And this is a surf rod. So you see what this is.
It's about 18 feet long.
This is a 15-foot surf rod. I've never had one this big, and I know how. I thought I had everything. And guess where Gail found this present at, Bill? You guess online, all kind of places like that. C&G Sporting Goods had it. 15-foot surf rod, and I cannot wait to get out there and surf. I'm gonna cast it to Casa, Mexico shores or somewhere.
Probably, yeah. You can fish in another county.
We're gonna get her past that second sandbar for sure. So I was tickled with that. And I was real excited. Now, let's get to shutdown, for lack of a better word. We're in a situation now where we can't really get out and do a lot, but around the house as an outdoorsman, what are some things you can do that you enjoy doing?
Well, we talk about this a lot, and now if you're not going to work because you can't, fishing is always throwing a cast net. But what I have discovered, basically from my grandson, is you can go to YouTube and learn how to do anything in the world.
Now you can, yeah.
And so, you have the ability to go there and look up, how to clean and maintain your rods and your reels especially. But, general servicing and stuff like that, I mean, I'm still not going to watch YouTube and take it apart and put it back together if something's wrong, and we'll take it to blue water and let the pros do it, okay? But, the general maintenance on that, on your trolling motors, on everything, and I promise you, if you go to YouTube and search for it, there's a half a dozen guys are better with a way to do it, So there's nothing worse than getting the opportunity to go fishing and your stuff not working.
I know.
And it sits up and whatever, but
And along those lines, this is funny because I in my outdoor ed class for years, we taught how to tie knots. And the last couple of years, we were able to. I sort of felt bad because now the kids could learn off YouTube. So I didn't get to teach them how to do it, but they could actually go to YouTube and and do it. So it's a great opportunity to pick. And we're going to recommend some knots for you later on, just some basic knots, and you can go. I mean, I can sit here and show you. But it's just as easy to look it on YouTube. I may put up a YouTube.
Yeah, learn how to tie a couple of knots for situations, and that's all you need.
Another thing I saw the other day too, I was going to bring. They had a little chart and had all the the birds are really singing this time of the year. When I go out early, I can hear the birds over here, birds over there. You can press down on a picture of the bird and it'll make the sound. Like if it's a bluebird, it'll make a bluebird sound. If it's a
it's pretty amazing.
Cardinal. So you start identifying even if you don't know much about outdoors, and just pick out ones in your yard. And go ahead.
Oh well, no, I was going to say it's the same thing with it's maintenance like on your motors and your boat and things like that. It's a good time. Check your hubs, do all that kind of stuff. You can do some simple things. you know, with tune-ups or changing the oil from your lower units, not that big a deal. If you get into other stuff, you want to take it to the pros. I'm not going to do anything significant and me go out and fish in it. So, you know, take it to Harsh Marine and have those guys look at it, you know, or, you know, my reels, if they've got to be taken apart, pop over there to Blue Water and you get them. The borders aren't closed. You know, you could drive over there and drop some stuff off. So there's a lot of maintenance that you can do, and you mainly want to fill up your list of outdoor maintenance, because if you don't, then your wife's going to come in with the honey-do list, and you need to already be started on the other one.
I know, you got a good point there. I saw a post the other day said, I really feel sorry for the guys who've been telling their wife, I'll do it when I get time. Because they ain't got all that time to do it.
Make your own list. You know, I got to do this to the boat, and you know, all that kind of stuff.
And just, again, I got a little corner in my garage, a lot of other people too, we do those things. And it's just important that you just keep everything maintained, and this is a great time to do it.
Rods, wheels, boats, everything's
great
expensive.
Time to change a line on your reel and make sure that line is fresh. And look at some other things too about, you know, every year we're talking about getting back into floundering and all. Make sure your gig's all set up and your lights are working, so all kind of things. Well, I got about a minute left. We can't go to breakfast this morning like we normally can. So.
No, that's out. There are some places you can drive through and take it out still.
Run by and get a biscuit somewhere.
You know, just be safe, be smart about it. You know, this is not a joke. It's something we can control and will control. And you know, with my business, I'm watching all this all the time on how it affects markets and people's money and things like that. And you know, there are drugs out there that they're trying now in human trials, which is unheard of. So we're going to get over it. It's just going to take, you know, some sacrifice and which is hard for me, acting like you got a lot of sense and do things right.
They got to fake it sometimes. Hey, one thing don't sit around watching news all day long either.
No.
Do not do that. I mean, you know, get an update on it, watch it, you know, get an update, and then turn it off. Watch somebody else to go do something. But that's only going to just get you depressed watching all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little much information overload on that. I'll wrap it up, buddy. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you do something good today for your fellow man. All kinds of people out there need help now. So you have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.